Well, good morning. So this morning, trying to figure out if these light, these N-Light lights from Amazon are any good, or if it's worth it. I mean, I have a Pro R side by side, and I did these Squadron Pros by Baja Designs, and I feel like they're worth the money. Yeah, they were $400, but they really light it up. And when you're flying through the desert or the dunes, you really want to be able to see where you're going. So I wouldn't want to put anything less than that on the side by side. Now, that being said, on my daughter's Jeep, which we did the jack on, we want to do these other lights. I think these aren't going to be horrible on here. I think they're going to do the job. So we're going to put them on here. We're going to test them out. We're going to find out. All right, so I laid everything out here that we're going to be doing. Got your lights. I'm not too disappointed in what it comes with. I mean, you get your hardware, you get an Allen wrench, you get your brackets, your lights, fuses, the wiring harness, a switch. It does say light bar on it, but it's a switch. And everything's pretty much wired for you. So you come through and hook everything up. So we're going to dive into it. So we want to put them here. I think this will be a nice easy spot to mount them and be able to adjust them out. Thought about doing them up over here, but I think right here is going to be the best spot. But I'm going to take this all off and see what that looks like under there. Make sure we can drill through this for our mounting bolts, and we'll go from there. Got this. So I did take this all the way off. I was going to pull it all the way out. It doesn't need to come out. Took off the windshield wipers, took out the plastic piece that goes here. I'll show it to you in a second. I am going to go ahead and pull off these side panels right here. They're very easy, 2 screws. Slide that right out of there. So you see there's this little piece right here. Right in front of it, right here, is where I'm going to put the bracket. So it's nice and easy to bolt it from the outside just by moving this off. So I probably didn't need to take that all off, but live and learn. So just for future reference, take out the 2 screws that go in there, take out the 2 screws on the sides, and this piece will come off. But this isn't flat enough to put the light on here unless you put it up here by the windshield. But there's just not a lot of room to work with up there. So putting the light right there. So this is the bracket that holds the light on and lets it swivel. It just gets bolted on like this. So I'm just making sure I'm not drilling into anything below it. There's this one little tab right here that doesn't do anything, but I don't want to drill into it. And I want plenty of room for the nut to be able to go on the bottom. I'm just drilling really slow. This is plastic, so it's not. All right, so there we go. Tighten that up a little bit. There we go. And that's that. So now this bracket's just going to bolt on there. Put the wires underneath. The wires are going to be able to tuck under and go all the way across. So I said, oh, I didn't need to take this off, but it'll be a lot easier to run the wires across here without it in the way. So it does need to come off. All right, so got this one on. Wire's going to come right down between them. I may cut a little notch. I'm going to see how tight it is when I put it on there. But just want to show you again really quick. So for anybody that doesn't know a lock washer, this is a lock washer. It's a little split in it. Make sure you put it so that when you tighten it, it smashes that down, and it makes it so the bolt can't come back off. Put your washer. Now they did put the nut already in here. It is adjustable back and forth, side to side. So you're just going to put the bolt up through here, line it up with the nut. Tighten it on there. It does come with an Allen wrench too, so you don't have to have one. Get it centered where I want it. See that lock washer in there it's rotating with the bolt, but as it tightens, it'll just smash down. And then I left that bracket a little loose so that I could just turn it around and be able to put this bolt in. So I tried doing it without on the other side over there, and yeah, it was a nightmare. Had to loosen it back up and bring it around. And I wish they had made these with a little bit more room for adjustment. So yeah, I can, there we go. And then yeah, I'll just make that, so that I'll just notch that other plate out so that fits right in there. So that's the lights mounted, not too bad. Like I said, it might have been easier to take this plate off as well. I loosened it all the way up. There is some push pins along the back here that you've got to pull out. I decided instead of risking scratching the paint, I would just leave it on there and work with it out here. So not too bad. I don't think they mounted bad. Like once this gets bolted back down, they'll be nice and firm. So so yeah, so that's the mounting process. Now we're going to go through and figure out how to wire them up. All right, so I don't know how many things you guys have wired up, but I'm going to tell you, for 30 bucks for these lights, for the lights, the wires, everything, that's pretty damn good, because this comes with, like I said, a switch, the wires. It's already separated to reach from side to side on this Jeep. Those go to the lights. The switch goes inside. They even added a coupler so you can just simply unplug it, so you don't have to try to get that switch or undo all that to get it through your firewall into your dash. Comes with a fuse block. Your wires are already ready to go on your battery, and a relay. So I mean, this right here is 30 bucks. So like I said, really easy to wire up. That only took like a few minutes. Ends are on, all plugged in. They actually lock into each other, so they're waterproofed. And then real quick, I just wanted to show these push pins right here. These go to this front plastic part, so you did have to take those out. So they just pop right in. Pushed it down. Push it down, one out here, push it down, lock that back up over that. All right, so that's it. They are on. So did want to show you, you did have to pop off the windshield wipers. You just pop them up. You do have to mess with it a little bit to get the splines lined back up to where your old. Luckily, my daughter didn't wash her Jeep before I made this video, so I have a dust mark on the windshield where the windshield wipers were, so maybe that's a good thing. So yeah, just tighten that nut down, secure, and then the little plastic cap goes over the top of it, and that is that. I think they came out pretty nice. So all day today, worked on those lights, got the lights, the off-road lights put on the Jeep, so you can hear it in my background. Side by side's running, the Jeep's running. They're still sitting side by side out here, just waiting for the sun to go down and for it to get darkened up here in Phoenix. So I'm gonna walk over here across the street, and we're just gonna kind of do a simple little on the garage challenge of which one is brighter. So I hope you can see it from here. We'll let this car get out of the way. There you go. That's the side by side. So that's the pods. Give those a second. She's going to turn those off, and then the Jeep's going to come on. So that's the Jeep. So really, I mean, you can see a difference. And here in a second, they're going to turn both of them on, and you'll be able to see clearly which ones are brighter. I don't know. I think that for the Jeep, those were bright enough. So I don't know. I mean, I'm standing out here. I can see a difference between the Jeep and the side-by-side and the lights, but is it a $370 difference? I don't know. If I'm going 70 or 80 miles an hour in the desert, yes, but I'm not going to be going 70 or 80 miles an hour in the desert in a Jeep. So is it bright enough? For sure. So all right, well, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Hopefully this helps you pick out your off-road lights.